Good evening. Sorry, I forgot I had the television on. Watching SNL. Gotta love it. Only thing that makes me laugh nowadays. So, sorry. Today's lesson's going to be on how to counteract lust. Actually, let me rephrase that. Chastity counters lust. That doesn't mean to say you have to be celibate per se. Just keep it with one person, if you would. And make sure they're not a narcissist. Feel the energy, so on and so forth. So let's get down to it. Chastity means it is the moral virtue that moderates sexual pleasure, integrating sexuality within a person's bodily and spiritual being according to their state in life. It involves sexual purity in thoughts, of words, and actions, often requiring abstinence of before marriage and fidelity within it. Again, I'm just a messenger. Do what you will. That's up to you. You just need to remember that if it's not with your true partner, then they're gonna fucking drain you. And I know specifically what I'm talking about on that one. Sorry, I'm smoking. Had a rough day today. So bear with me. If I pause this, I'm taking a... Shouldn't smoke, I know. Don't. I'm just the messenger. I don't give two shits, really. I should, but I don't. So, chastity in today's world is lost and misconstrued. The reason this one is on the list is due to the fact that when you have sexual intercourse, you're exchanging your spiritual essence with that person. Whoever you're doing, you will keep that energetic tie until you cleanse your soul of these energies. If they're negative energies, if they're positive energies, it's a good thing. You know, that means that you feel secure when you're having sex. You feel loved, you feel cared for, and you get just as much out of it as they get. You know, period. Man or woman, period. Or woman on woman, man on man, I don't care. I'm just saying that as long as there's a give and take in the relationship, then it's a good thing. So, and if they have ill intentions, and these are like the one night stands, these are like people that cheat on you, these are people that tell you that they love you when they really don't, and you can actually feel this in your soul when someone truly loves you in your heart. You can. I know I can, and I also can tell when I'm being used, but you know, I'm trying to teach people lessons here on what to look out for. And it's usually either the person that you're with has been manipulated by a different type of energy, or they're just not a good person to begin with. Like I said, it doesn't matter what sex you are, what sexual orientation you have, I don't care. Now, what is sick and wrong is when you're fucking animals, so don't fuck any animals. That's just fucking gross. That's called bestiality, and you will go down for that one. Sorry, hold on. Okay. People need to understand this, that when you hurt somebody intentionally, there is always karma, regardless. Your own karma that you create, it's action, causation. Everything is causation. And if you truly love someone and they're treating you like shit, you need to go around and look at the other side, where they're coming from. Okay, now if they keep doing, I mean, there are mistakes in life. There truly are. I'm not condoning or applauding any actions upon anyone. So if something happens and you forgive them, and then they do it again, I'm sorry, they're not for you. I mean, once is enough, period. And if, period, you should just fucking pack up your shit and leave. But this is where the manipulating energies come in. And you have to be wary of these. And they usually come from the inside. Oh, he won't do it again, or oh, she won't do it again. And they keep on doing it. And that's the negative energies in your head lying to you. And those are the ones that you need to put a stop to. Now, when you do this and you quiet your mind, now remember, everything that comes into your mind, you have a feeling for this. So if you're a quiet person or a loud person, it doesn't matter, but usually it's the people that are always talking shit that got these negative energies going on. I know I did that for a long time, and then I had to just stop myself. And that one took me fucking years. That one took me probably about 10 years to stop talking negative about people. But it was because I was being manipulated by someone else. Oh, well, they're doing this. And then I jump in because my little fucking brain would start going. And so I jump in on it too. So this is how you know when you're being manipulated. If that's truly not you that says shit about people like that, and this goes to everything, that it's usually a negative energy in your mind working on you, the archons, if you will. And this is why you have to center yourself and breathe and ask yourself, is this truly who I am? So back, that's for the inside voice. So when you can completely you're never going to shut out what I call the ego, but you learn how to temper yourself. And these are like the Buddhist masters that are totally at fucking peace. And that's just where I get my centeredness from. Like I said, I'm not religious at all. But the archons are different levels, and, you know, people have different ways of talking about it. And here in America, it's usually that has to do with the seven sins, so that's why I'm going through them. And the energetic pulls between people. And when you're around somebody and they make you feel uncomfortable, and you just don't know why, and then your brain says, oh, they're fine. Go with your first instinct, because usually it's not fine. That means that that person has a red flag on them, or a negative energy in them, or attached to them. And this is why you shouldn't truly, go and do what you will. Go and do what you will, because I know what I've done, and like I said, I've experienced a lot in life, so yeah. I'm not condoning anyone's actions, and I'm not applauding them. So it's all your choice, how you feel about it. So what I have been shown is everybody has trials in this life, trials carried over from a past life. So if you continue to do something and you're stuck in a loop, a perpetual loop, and you just can't seem to get out of it, 9 times out of 10 it's something carried over from a past life. Like drinking too much, or too many drugs, or alcohol, or fighting and yelling and, judging other people. It's because it's either you had that done to you in a past life, or it's carried down from your genetic coding from your parents or your siblings or your grandparents or your great-grandparents. It's just carried on. And people who say you don't have past lives, you're wrong. Because if you dream of places that you've never been, and you feel like, oh, I know that place, then you've been there. You've been recycled. Like, I know I've been recycled from the Viking times. I've been recycled from Israel times. I know I've been recycled from Sumerian times. A lot of shit this carries over. And this is why I say, you need to, if you write down your dreams, like say you were in a forest at one time and you were wearing a turban, or, stuff like this. That means that you've lived a previous lifetime. Period. So don't let anybody ever tell you different. So it's either, that negative energies are attacking you, or, there's just so many levels to this fucking game. Like I said. These are your trials now. Like, I know from the gate that I wanted to fast track this, so I went through a lot of stuff when I came back to this time. And there are choices I could have made better, but then I wouldn't have went through the trials that I went through, and I wouldn't be awake right now. And believe me, when I say it was a tough life, it's like half and half. I knew that I created this lifetime, but because I can see into other realms, I don't know what my level is up there, per se. But I know that these entities that are and people who do hexes and spells on you, they know you're coming because they can do astral projection, and plus the negative energies, y'all about, they all got that shit written down. So either way, you gotta learn how to protect yourself. So there are choices in life, back to the chastity. There are choices in life when you know you should have gone right instead of left, or turn back to comfort from what you know instead of going forth to the unknown. This means leaving the past behind. When you leave somebody and you break up with somebody, and then you're in this pulling energy, that usually means you're being manipulated, because you should always walk away from what you left. Period. Never go back to the past. That story's done. That story's written. Period. I know from that experience. But then, mine goes on from there, but there's extensions on that shit, and that has nothing to do with me, because that's their obsession, not mine. And it says, when you continue to go down a path that you're stuck in this cyclical lifetime, not only in this life, but also every other life, until you learn lessons. And so, usually, like I said, when you come back to this lifetime, you're in the same family dynamic. You might be the brother, you might be the sister, you might be the mother, you might be the father, you might be the child. You don't know, or the grandparent, or the aunt, or the friend. You don't know. Everybody has a crowd that they keep going back to until you learn your lesson. So if you're stuck in this lesson, let's just go with couples, okay? If you're stuck in this lesson and you keep going back to the same person that's hurting you, it's one of two things. They're either got a succubus or an incubus demon attached to them, and some serious fucked up mentality going on, or you can't break yourself away from this person because of your fucking issues going on in your brain, saying, oh, they'll change, oh, they'll love me more, they'll be better next time, they won't do that next time, they promise. No, that's a bunch of fucking lies. Walk away. Walk the fuck away. Period. And I have experience with that too. Like I said, everything I'm giving you, I have experience in every single one of these. And so, and the main part of it comes down to know thyself. Truly know thyself. And if you don't know yourself, take a month off and go up into the fucking woods and ask yourself some serious questions. Center yourself. Get rid of your negative fucking energy. And then if you come back and you're all cleansed and all this shit starts attacking you again, then that's on them, because you know you've centered yourself. Like I said, it just depends on how many years you've been doing this with whomever, or however long you've been doing yourself and doing whatever. You really need to check yourself. I was told to share that with whoever is out there having anonymous sex, or one night stands, or booty calls, or fuck buddies, or whatever. Because truly, all that's happening is you're just draining your essence out of you, truly. And it's not infinite. It truly is not infinite. And when I hit sloth, you'll understand why. So we're working on chastity and wrath, and counteracting wrath today, besides counteracting lust today. So chastity with lust and wrath. Counteracting wrath, yes. There's that too. I was angry for a long time. So, in the beginning of this rabbit hole, what are you willing to get up for? Give up for this. Your heart, your mind, your soul. Because you can lose your soul over lust. Masturbating, over masturbating, fucking 10 different people at a fucking time. That's because you seriously have a fucking demon in you. And these people that are locked up for all of these heinous fucking crimes, it's because something was carried down in their line, and or their soul choose not to let go of it and kept repeating this fucking lesson. And then they got the inside demon talking to them. Not only is their soul outside their body, and the only way they're going to get back to themselves is if they actually, forego all of this shit that I talk about, Because when you get to the point that you cannot control your lust, and all you do is think about sex, about undressing people, about fucking someone all the time, you seriously got a fucking demon up in you. And I ain't fucking lying. So, I mean, there was so many fucking games played with me. You've got witches, you've got warlocks, you've got druids, you've got, voodoo people, you've got hoodoo people. Where there's yin, there's yang. Where there's light, there's dark. And so, I mean, in every ethnicity on this planet, there is some sort of witch doctor counteracting. I don't want to say a good witch doctor. I'm talking about the bad types, the negative types that want to bind you. And you don't know that they're trying to bind you with these fucking things or hexing you. Or it's just a fucking demon working through your partner. I remember one time my ex told me that he had visited a card reader a long time ago. And when he said that, I felt something funny inside my soul. And she's like telling him that he was going to die at the age of 25. But I also felt something elusive though too. But I didn't put two and two together until I almost died last year. Well, I shouldn't say I almost died. I did die. But I guess I have a strong fucking soul, and I have archangels guarding me, and my spirit guides, my guardian angel. I know I have the angel of death with me. Like I said, I'm of the light and the dark, because I see demons and I see angels. So it's not pretty, I can tell, like I said, I keep reiterating the fact. And when someone's having an issue with their lust, you can actually see this or feel this coming from them. And it all comes down to this. Sometimes they can mask themselves, and that's when you really need to fucking worry. So, in all honesty, before you fuck somebody, say a little prayer. Say, the light is always within me. My guardian angels watch over me. Archangels watch over me. I mean, if you don't remember, you need to at least ask your guardian angels or your spirit guides to watch over you, because they can always go and tell someone, But this is a free will place, if you're a plane, if you will. I've always had angels watching over me. So, they usually tell me when something's wrong, or they'll show me when something's wrong. And like I said, these fucking lust demons are bad, And once they get inside you, like if if you're not always sexually active, like you're kind of a, I maintain myself unless I want to do something type deal person. But when you get to the point where you absolutely have no fucking control over your lust, you have something inside of you. I know, I was there too, so. And then, and then you always feel like somebody's watching you all the time. And don't talking like, jumping around corners, but when you're in the point of no return and you feel like you're lusting really bad, like you just need to have an orgasm or whatever all of the time, and you're just by yourself, you're not with anybody else, and you need to go 4 or 5 times before you're satisfied, that is a fucking lust demon draining the fuck out of you. It is what it is. So, I mean, I'm not saying don't get off, but try to abstain. Try to go at least 4 or 5 months from doing anything with anyone. See how you feel. So, you know, it's usually the lack of knowledge when it comes to this, that people don't understand what they're going through. And, you know, yes, you have sex workers and you have all of these people, but again, you know, it's honestly, it's what they chose for their lives, so you can't condone or hate anybody on it regarding it. That's what they chose for this lifetime, to learn how to do this, learn how to deal with this. Maybe that's one of their trials that they're trying to go through. So never hate anyone. Just try to say, hey, maybe, you know, think about it. That don't mean run up and fucking tell all of them. But the ones that are struggling, that are truly struggling, and I'm not talking, you know, the ones that are working for themselves. I'm usually talking about the ones that have pimps. I'm usually talking about the ones that are working the streets, you know, by themselves, just to fucking, you know. Or there's just the housewives that go and fuck other men, and husbands go fuck other women. It's, you really need to check yourself within yourself. How do you truly feel about it? Is it your fucking ego talking? Oh yeah, I could do that. Fucking better check yourself. And if anything, go sit in a bathtub full of water and cleanse your energy for half an hour. Put some lavender oil in it. Call upon the angels and they'll help cleanse you. And then you sit there in that tub and think about it. Do you have positive role models? Or is everybody that you've ever learned from, believe me, I know this too, because when I was learning about sex, all my friends were having sex. All of my friends. Couldn't go to my parents because they never talked to me about sex. They were total fucking, oh, let's not talk about that, you know? So I learned from my friends and my friends' mothers, and, you know, that wasn't good. Because they were fucking not good. So, and my whole speech on this subject is finding the pattern that took you there, and ask yourself again if that was truly what you wanted, or were you pressured into it? What path are you truly walking? How do you feel about it? What do you feel inside when you're in these situations? Do you feel like you're being forced? Do you feel like you're actually there in the moment enjoying it? And I'm talking not when you're drunk, because you're inebriated, so you cannot think for yourself. And that's half the fucking problem. So, you know what, have a limit on your drinks. Only drink 2 cocktails instead of 10. Drink 1 cocktail instead of 5. You know? Or just drink a fucking wine cooler instead of a fucking martini. You know? You gotta learn these things for yourself. I can't guide you on that. That's shit that you gotta deal with if you drink. If you don't, and you're still feeling this, and you don't want to deal with it, then you need to learn how to deal with your inside voice and shut that fucker down, saying, oh, I don't need this, I don't want this. You need to just leave me, dark energy. And once you command the dark energy to either shut up and you pivot, what I learned is how to be a lighthouse in my own mind, if you will. When I get angry, I do have to apologize for the other day. So when I got angry, or when I got in these emotions, I'd have to quiet my mind. So for a long time after episodes, I would just sit there and look at all of the thoughts that went through my mind, and I wouldn't, how you'd say, I wouldn't acknowledge them. Like, think of them like as a cloud, just like going through a window and out the door, you know, come in the window and out the door like a breeze. You just watch them float on by. And then if you truly feel like something's wrong inside on one particular image in your mind, if you will, then that's something that you need to work on. Me, I've never, you know what, everything that I've ever done in my life, I chose to do. And if I ever felt pressured into doing something, those are the ones that I definitely worked on. But I also confronted a lot of fucking people if they did me wrong. I never hid the truth from them. I told them how they made me feel. I told them what I didn't like. And if they didn't like it, I'm not going to let them talk shit to me. I never did. I fucking hated it. But then there's master manipulators. There's a fucking narcissist that can talk their way out of anything and make you actually feel like you're going fucking crazy in your mind. I didn't say that. That came up. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You must have thought it. You thought you were telling me. No, I told you, motherfucker. You just chose not to listen. You know? So there's a lot of fucking things that people need to sit down and look at. And usually the ones that are getting taken advantage of are the kind souls. I just choose not to be angry about it. Because damage is done. Damage is done, and I choose not to fucking deal with shit anymore, so I let it go. I don't want to live in the past. I want to live in my fucking eternal now. So, I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be hateful. You know, but if someone comes at me, I will address that shit. I usually tell them, you know what, you need to go find the creator, because I can't fucking help you no more. You done fucked up. That's my whole position on a lot of fucking people anymore. Even my own kids. I don't cater to my kids anymore. And people always say, I had a lady tell me the other day that I was cold-hearted for not wanting to be around my family. Well, when your son tells you that it's your fault that they're the way they are, no, that's not the truth. I took care of my son. I worked his entire fucking life up until I got into my car accident. And that was for, what, 6 years of his fucking life? And then it was all my fault for everything, yet he's not looking at the bigger picture, you know? He wanted me to pay for his college. Well, I'm sorry, nobody paid for my fucking college. Nobody paid for my lifestyle. Yeah. So, you know, do what you gotta do to get by. That's the way I was taught anyways. You know? That's a longer story. But anyways, back to... This truly encompasses... Sorry. If you're being submissive, feeling coerced, feeling bad or regret after the fact, do you feel guilty or belittled? Do you feel like you're dirty inside? Do you feel like something energetically is pushing against you? These are all signs that you've been infested with negative energies. And so this truly encompasses a lot of the reasons why people don't feel right anymore. They're so fucking infested with these negative energies that they don't realize what they are. And to know these, to know thyself, you have to... I mean, the Ethiopian Bible's got it more right than anything, but go to the Gnostic ways. Go to the ways of Thoth. Go read the Corpus Hermetium, Trismegistus or something. Hermes Trismegistus. That's who authored the book. It's the thrice great. That's who the author is. And basically that's from the creator. It is the feminine, the masculine, and the middle, which is the sun, because they're combined. They're the centerness of it. That's the sun, you know? Father, son, mother. That's the center. And when you can get these two together, you are better off. And yes, you will fall off the wagon, but you have to go back and center yourself, if you will. This is why meditation is great. And if you need to go outside and scream, go outside and scream. I can't scream, you know. I just have to sit there due to underlying conditions. I can't get mad anymore, so I've learned to just seriously meditate. I give it up to the creator and the angels and watchers and other energies, and they take care of my problems for me because I'm unable to do it for myself anymore as far as that goes. Yeah. So, like I said, I always give it up to the creator, and once you do, I mean, you have the right to have righteous justice, righteous anger. But if you're one of those people that get angry at everything, you seriously got a fucking problem. That's your inside voice telling you to fucking be nasty, and that's not good. So, the negative energies, they truly encompass a lot of reasons people don't feel right anymore. They don't understand what they're truly doing in this realm due to generational loss of knowledge. And I'm not talking centuries, I'm talking millennia. And in some people's cases, fucking eons. Very few will identify with the eons, but those that do will understand this. This literally has been embedded into your genetic code from past ancestral trauma upon this third plane. And a lot of spiritualists, people don't know this part, hence the explanation. Like I said, a lot of people think that you don't have multiple lives, and that is so fucking wrong. It's just every time you get recycled, you get wiped. But when you have a feeling inside like, oh, I've been there before, or that person looks familiar, it's usually because you knew them in another lifetime. You knew their energy in another lifetime. Or, you know, you have a soul contract with them. And, you know, like I said, always use discernment. I always say my light is a feather, my heavy is a brick, because that will never lie to you. So, you know, I have a lot of what you call deja vu moments. And so if you have a lot of deja vu moments with people or places, that means that you've been there before. You've done this before in another lifetime, and you're still trying to learn the lesson. Or this is a new lesson. So you have to use discernment on every fucking thing. So, you think you live and die and go to heaven. Some do. Most will not. They will be recycled, and you will have to relive this again until you get this right. Things are changing, and I hope you change too. This choice is yours to make due to free will here upon this earthly plane. This is only your choice, no one else's. So you can't go and ask your friend, oh, is this okay? Because you know what? You're giving your power away when you do that. So when you have consensual sex, that's meaning that you're giving each other's power. But like I said, when you feel like you're being manipulated or you feel bad and you really don't want to do this, walk the fuck away. Get up and walk the fuck away and just tell them, I don't feel comfortable with doing this. I really, truly don't. And if they guilt trip you, that means that they're fucking working through their own demons. And I would say, you know what, since you're trying to guilt trip me, if you loved me, now motherfucker, I do love you, but that don't mean that I need to be submissive to you. This needs to be consensual. Period. 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 And yes, I understand men live through their fucking dicks, but the minute that they might make you start feeling fucking guilty and obligated about something, they got some serious fucking ish going on. And that's when you need to call upon Archangel Michael and say, hey, I need some protection right now. And then they'll send an in-between and fucking they'll make it stop. And if it doesn't stop, then that's usually a lust demon. So, yeah. You need to fucking check yourselves on that one. This one is truly tricky. I had no one to rely upon except for myself. I was shown so much shit regarding this one because I had lost control of myself. And then when I woke up and I started saying, no, I don't want to do this, I don't feel comfortable, because I could feel the energy and it was just making me sick. That's when I was shown that there's a little succubus bitch on that ex's ass and I fucking cannot deal with it. I don't want to be around it anymore. I truly fucking don't. And, you know, you've got these people that are on the outer rims, I call them. The parallel timeline saying that, you know, there's no such thing as demons. Bull fucking shit, because there's energies and then there's fucking demons. The darkest, densest type of fucking energy that there are. And these ones attach to people because usually when, like, your killers and your rapists and your molesters and shit, they fucking sold their soul because something fucking happened to them and they didn't want nothing to happen to them, and then some fucking dark light and dark entity came in and said, oh, I'll save you. They pretended to be like they're the true creator, you know? Or God, if you will. And because they were treated so badly, they didn't know how to deal with their fucking issues from childhood. And that's usually when a lot of these fucking demons and shit come in. And, it's usually because they didn't fucking deal with something in their childhood. And they didn't have no one to rely on. Well, you know what? I didn't have anybody to fucking rely on either. Period. You know? So many fucking stories. But I didn't have anyone to fucking rely on. I only had to rely on myself. I'm basically fucking self-taught in everything in my life. I was a parent child taking care of my brothers and sisters by the time I was 8 years old. So, yeah. More fucking shit happened. Anyway. My point is this. Even if you were like me, a parent child, and you didn't know, and you don't know any better, well, you know better now. So, I'm just trying to help you out of this stupid shit you might be in. So, I was looking at it from the wrong perspective. I truly was. As far as going out and partying and drinking and having, one night stands or whatever. But everybody does this nowadays. I'm not saying everybody anymore. I'm just saying that's the norm. That's the norm for people. Going to the bars and getting drunk and doing whatever, partying at your house and doing whatever. But it's not the norm. Truly, it's not. It's just, like I said, it's to each their own. I'm not judging anybody, and I don't care to. It's not my place. I'm just trying to help people get out of the fucking mess they're in, because shit's coming, shit's changing, and I'm sorry you don't want to come back and fucking learn these lessons. Unless you have a different life path after this one, I cannot say. I don't know. Me, I know I'm not coming back to this place, because I'm here for like a signal marker. I'm like what you call a fucking node in a system. And I'm out of here. I've been here for a long fucking time. I'm gone. And I'm gone. So, anyways, that's today's lesson on chastity countering lust. I hope you enjoyed this. May this help some people. And if you're not sure how to feel about this, you need to look up the Gnostic Ways on YouTube. And look up the Pistis Sophia. Also look up energetic healers. That might help you. Like I said, I'm self-taught in everything. I'm a quick learner. I know what I need to do to cleanse my spirit, my mind, my body, and my soul. So, yeah, there's a lot of shit that encompasses it. But like, again, even with spiritual leaders, if they tell you, that you need to keep coming back to be healed, that's not true. You just take the lesson that you learned, go to an energy healer, have them cleanse your aura, have them, try to work with your chakras and all that. But usually you can do this stuff yourself. Listen to a lot of solfeggio tones, call upon the archangels to help you clean your system, especially Metatron. Metatron works with the Arcturians, and the Arcturians usually clear out your frequencies and your vibrations and your chakras. So you can call upon those people. If you don't know who they are, then you can usually go to the solfeggio tones. A really good one is 528 for healing, 440 441, I think it is, and then 963, 111, 44, no, I already said 4. Anyways, wherever you feel off at the most, is it your head? They have certain areas in your body. Kabbalah, look up the Kabbalah chakras, because believe it or not, there's not just 7 chakras. There's like 22 different types of chakras in your body, meridian points, if you will. I'm not a perfectionist. I've studied, but I haven't applied. But yeah, just look up the Kabbalah chakras, and that will help direct you to your meridian points. And then also look up Chinese medicine. That will help cleanse your body. And if you're a meat eater, please stay away from that. I'm not negating, eating meat if you do. I'm just saying it's not healthy for your etheric soul, your spirit, your aura. So if you're into all that and you eat meat, please stop. Can't say I'm clean off of that one, but I did eat meat for about 30 years. So I'm not eating meat anymore. That's just nasty. I never liked it when I was a child. Yeah. I'm going to edit that part out. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Blessed be.